In this video, we're going to look at some of the ways that you can use options in the CoBlocks set of gallery blocks to build sliders or other kinds of image portfolios on your website. So I'm creating a new page called Gallery, and I'm going to add a block. And if you scroll down, you can see I've got CoBlocks installed. This is a plugin that you can install, so it's additional Gutenberg blocks. And there's this section CoBlocks Galleries with 4 options in it. So if we start off with the carousel option, the first thing it's going to ask is for you to select the images that you want to go into the carousel. So I'm just going to pick a selection of images pretty much at random and select create new gallery. And you can see that each of the images has got a caption already set up. This will display in some types of gallery but not in others, as we'll see as we go through. So I'm going to insert my gallery. And I've got an option here, write a caption. This is a caption for the whole of the slider, not for the specific images. So if we just have a quick look at how that looks now, you can see we've got the images with arrows that will progress them. And if I click on an arrow, it's going to bring up the next picture. We're not showing the full height of the images at the moment, so that might be something that we could change. So over here on the right hand side, we've got some carousel settings that you can have a play with. So for example, I might want to change the height in pixels to make the images higher, which I can do, so I can change that to 600. At the moment, there's a 5-pixel gutter in between the images. You could get rid of that altogether if you wanted, or you could make it more substantial. It's really up to you what your preference is. And as you can see here on the right hand side, you've got the option of having different gutters on mobile and on desktop. You can round the corners of your images. So as I scroll along, as I slide that along, you can see the corners here become more rounded. And then you've also got a whole series of settings that control how the slider plays. So at the moment, autoplay is turned off. So someone has to manually click on the arrow to progress the slider. But if I turn that on, I've then got the option of setting a transition speed. So let's say 2 seconds. And then all these various options. Do you want to pause when somebody's hovering over the image? Do you want to enable them to drag and flick? At the moment we've got arrow navigation, but you could add dots or turn off the arrows and just have dots, really whatever you like. So let's just preview that again as it is. So now we've got the slider and it's automatically sliding every 2 seconds. Over here we've got some more options, so I can add other pictures into my gallery if I want to. So let's say I want to add that picture in and add it to the gallery, give it a caption and update the gallery. So as I said, the captions aren't appearing in this slider option. But if we click here up at the top, we've got some other options that we can change to using the same set of images. So we could say, let's go for collage. And that's going to appear like this. If I preview that, you can see how that looks. And over here, you've got the option of toggling captions on and off. So we can turn the captions on and now they're appearing. We can make the gutters between the pictures much smaller or take them out altogether. You can have the images be a link if you want to. So how that looks now. I've got my captions on and I've removed the gutters between the images. Up here again, you've got some other options for how your pictures could display in this kind of gallery. And then you can also transform it to another sort of a block. So we looked at the carousel before. Let's have a look at masonry. So that's going to create this sort of columned effect. And again, you can turn the captions rather on or off, up to you. You can add in the gutter. You can change the column size. What else? You can change the style of the captions if you want to, and add links again, and you can add more images in. So let's just quickly preview that. So that looks like this. And we've got stacked as an option. So this is just pictures one on top of each other, like that. And again, you've got options over here to make the images full width by default, to change the guttering between the images, to round the corners, turning captions on and off. You've got lightbox. So if you enable the image lightbox and we preview it, when somebody clicks on the image, it'll display in a lightbox like this, and the person can scroll through the different images. So this could be good if you're displaying a portfolio of your photographs, for example. And then I think group is the one that we haven't looked at so far. And if we preview that, you can see in effect this is the same sort of look as the stacked. So you've got quite a few different options in here. If I put it back to carousel and maybe select Excel and preview, and change the height again. Oops, change the height to 600 and preview it. So you can really play around with the images in this one block, and gives you quite a few different options for how you might want them to display.